Changing the track. Have you've obviously heard of like an aphrodisiac, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so like what the actual fuck, excuse me. Like I'm sorry because I'm not saying that like food can't do anything to your like hormones or like your mood. I'm not saying that. But it's so crazy when people are like, "Oh, like I don't know, chocolate or oysters, right? Is an aphrodisiac." And it's like,
Yeah.
but you say that, and I don't like either of those things. Let's be real. I'm gonna be completely real. I don't eat chocolate
Second that.
or oysters. But for people that say that, like if we were to go out to eat or whatever and like be like, oh, I want to get oysters as an appetizer and we can get chocolate for dessert, they always have to be like, it's an aphrodisiac. And it's like, ew, shut up. Like, what do you mean? What am I supposed to do with that information? I'm supposed to be at the table with you and be like, oh yeah, I'm getting wet as we speak. 6 oysters,
Ew.
please. Like, that's disgusting. No, I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you. Like, I just had to, like, look at what it means. Like, an aphrodisiac is a substance that's believed to increase sexual desire, performance, and pleasure.
Right.
So, so I'm right there with you. Because, like, for me, it's like, I don't like eating, like, clams or oysters. None of that shit. Like, why did I say clams? Is that even a thing? Whatever.
Yeah.
But my thing is, like, them just look nasty as fuck. And then when people do it, like, it's also kind of weird, right? Because it's just like, let's say it's a dude doing it or a woman, right? And I'm like, that's crazy uncomfortable.
Wait,
it's
have
like,
you ever had one?
hell no.
Like, you haven't even tried it?
Nope, I can't. Can't do it.
Why?
Can't do it. Shit look nasty to me. I'm like, nah, like, nah. So, anyways, it's just weird to me because it's like, if that's what it does, right? Like an oyster or whatever. To me, I'm like, why are you eating that shit, like, in public? You're just, like, comfortably getting horny in public? Like that's the weird thing to me, and maybe I'm gonna get fucking crucified for this because it's like publicized all over in rap and shit. But like that's why I never got like dudes that like go to the strip club together, like in a group. And I'm like, really think about that. It's like I'm gonna go with my boys and get horny. That's weird as fuck, bro. That's
weird.
hella homo.
That's weird.
Big pause.
So like,
that's big pause energy.
But scientifically, right?
fuck?
Like an aphrodisiac technically would be something that stimulates you sexually. Like, okay, why are you eating that? Let's say like at 6:37 p.m. like on a date, right? And then,
Sorry, I wasn't ready
and then
for that.
even if, let's say, like, I'm not saying that aphrodisiacs don't exist and it's not true, but like, whatever, like, herb this is, like, that would make more sense if it was a tea or an herb, but for you to say, like, there's a list, I just Googled aphrodisiacs, we've got artichokes, asparagus, chocolate, figs, oysters, spicy chili peppers, strawberries, and watermelon, like, just to name a few.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I just gotta say,
exactly.
maybe I'm sharing too much right now, but I'm just gonna say this. I love asparagus. I think asparagus is great.
Okay, but are you a rep when you're eating asparagus?
And I love watermelon. I'll tell you right now, never have I had those two things and gotten hard. Like, oh damn.
That's
like,
my point. Like, watermelon
that's
is
weird.
dope. I mean, most of these things, it's food, first of all. Like, you're eating it. Like, I don't know.
That's what I'm
I'm trying to.
You know, do you think maybe it's like the act of it? Like, it's like.
I was going to say maybe asparagus because it's like an oblong shape, but like, watermelon's not. So it really
Well,
like.
but I'm saying, so it's like maybe, like, you know, all right, maybe it's going to get a little kind of X-rated, so apologize to anybody who gives a fuck about that
Subscribe to our
shit.
Patreon.
Yeah. So maybe, like, I'm just thinking, because I got, like, oyster, it's like you kind of put the whole thing in mouth, and maybe it's supposed to, like hint or, like, be similar to, like, you're going down on a woman.
Okay, but that makes me uncomfortable. Again, if I was sitting at a date and the homeboy
That's what I'm
had 6
saying.
oysters and he was, like, slurping that shit, I'd be like,
That's what I'm
is that
saying.
supposed to
That's
make me be like,
nasty.
wow, you can eat the pussy like a fucking beast. Like, and I'm going to be like, oh, I can't wait for later. Like, with your oyster breath licking my coochie with your nasty fish tongue. Like,
That I'm saying. Or, like, maybe that's what it is for, like, a watermelon, like just going down on it. It's just like, but still, it's like, is that why, like, it elicits, like, a sexual arousal? Because it makes you think of that.
but
Like, that's
the
the only
definition,
connection I
right,
can make.
is it supposed to stimulate, like, you, the person eating it, right? It's not like I'm eating a watermelon and some of it drips down and gets on my shirt. First of all, that would piss me off because watermelon juice is not easy to get out. You have to go wash that shit immediately or else it stains because it's like water with, like, red tint in it. Red is, like, the worst color to wash out. Anyway,
I'm sorry. You have a problem, though? If you're eating a watermelon and you're just like, damn, this makes me think of eating pussy. Like,
No,
you have
I'm
a problem. That's what you think.
Well,
no, I'm
yeah,
not saying.
yeah.
I'm saying, but yeah, people are like that because to me, like, that's just you got a problem, bro. Like, that's weird.
No, but I'm
That's
saying
weird.
if someone else is eating watermelon and you're turned on by them eating a watermelon because it's dripping out of their mouth. Like,
I mean, I'm sure there are people out there. We've seen some weird shit.
I mean, if that's what it is, then you can make literally anything like sexual. You know what I mean? It's not like
That's what I'm saying. Like, is bananas on the list? Because I'm like, does bananas make people think of sucking dick? Like, the fuck? I've had a banana. I've never been like, this is like giving head. Like, the hell?
But that's why I'm like, they can be like, okay, foods, drinks, herbs, medications, or whatever, but they're derived from plants, animals, or minerals. And like, that's what I'm saying. That kind of makes sense. Like, it's not, I think it's also in such small doses that it's not going to make you like, gotta have sex right now. Like,
yeah, but so something chemically within these items as well then.
yeah, but like, again, such a small amount that it's not going to like, it's not going to be like, oh, you don't need Viagra. I got you an asparagus. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like that. So it's just
like, don't worry, you won't be needing that tonight. Got you some asparagus.
And that's weird because also, like, not just to stay on asparagus, that makes your pee smell bad. Like, it's good for you. Like, it cleans out your, your gastrointestinal, whatever. Asparagus is good for you, but it makes your pee, like, that and broccoli, it makes your pee smell bad. So it's like, I'm sorry, but, like,
pineapple.
I'm not going to have, like, my man, right, eat asparagus at dinner, and then he's like, oh, I'm aroused. I'm like, well, what's coming out of your dick, is gonna be smelly pee, so why would I put my mouth on there? Like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, I mean, it's always weird. And I don't know of any, like, everyone always says chocolate and oysters, and it's like, but chocolate is also, like, a heavily craved food when girls are, like, PMSing. Mm-hmm. Not me, but, so it's kind of like, okay, they're PMSing, and then they're like, let me eat some chocolate because, I feel emotions and hormones and I'm cramping and blah, blah, and then, like, what? They get horny too? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, what do you eat? What's your go-to if it's not chocolate?
For PMSing? What do you...
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay, so I'm a weirdo, and, like, come at me in the comments if you want, but,
we already know this.
I don't get hungry. I get not hungry when I'm, like, in that sort of stage, like that cycle. I eat less before and during my period. So, like, I know a lot of my friends eat more, and they'll eat, like, whatever they're craving, and, like, I don't know if I don't feel hunger, but I, like, do not want to eat. So, anything. So I guess I'm craving
weak.
I'm craving malnutrition.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know.
I crave starvation.
I crave the pain to substitute for the other pain that's about to come.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just very weird. And it's still super annoying, in my opinion, when someone's like, like, looking at the menu, like, oh, that's an aphrodisiac. Like, just say what you want to say. Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Like,
let her just be like, so we gonna fuck tonight?
Right, and then...
That's what you might as well be saying.
Yeah, and then now we're going to the conversation, it's only the first date, but, like, whatever. That's obviously different.
It's a whole nother topic.
Yeah. It's just annoying.
Yeah, I think that stuff is weird.
I'm also getting, like, ginger puts a zing in your sex life, but it's like, explain. You know what I mean? Like, it's so annoying now. Like, it's cool how the internet is so vast and we have all this information at our fingertips, but, like, how much of it is real? You know what I mean? Like, remember back in the day when Wikipedia was still kind of new and you could literally just, like, edit Wikipedia pages and lie?
Yeah.
And, like, people were, like, doing research papers and then teachers were like, you can't use Wikipedia as a source that's not reliable.
Yeah,
okay,
I remember
so
that.
Now, like, the actual internet, not even Wikipedia, like, the actual internet, how much of that is real and how much of it's not?
I'll tell you right now, like, and this has... The example I'm going to bring up has nothing to do with what we're talking about, aphrodisiacs. But in my job, I run into that all the time. Like, if you guys are returning or, heard from a previous podcast, like, I'm an exterminator by day. And I tell you all the time, I go to customers' houses where they're like, oh, well, I read on the internet this, that, this. And I'm just like, you believe everything you find on the internet?
Exactly.
Like,
so how reliable is WebMD?
Like,
because, like, whenever you're like, I'm coughing, WebMD's like, well, you have 24 hours to live. So, like, how reliable is WebMD now?
Yeah, I honestly think like it's just like that. Yeah, saying like if you're looking for a problem or looking for something wrong, you're gonna find it. So it's the same thing. So like if you're looking for something to affirm your fears, the internet will give it to you. Like you will find it. You may find like 9 articles that like no, it's nothing to be worried, and then the 10th one you're like, oh no, this one says I should worry, then I'm gonna die, and then like that's the one they
I think
focus
also
on.
too these articles are intentionally like 90 pages long, so you don't read the whole thing, and then obviously at the end or in the middle somewhere hidden there's some disclaimer like this is actually needs more research because I just found this on WebMD literally. It says ginseng, right? Some studies
Some,
say ginseng may. So there's already 2 maybes before we even get to the actual subject of the sentence. Anyway, some studies say ginseng may heighten sexual excitement in postmenopausal women and help men get and hold an erection. Red ginseng is particularly popular as an aphrodisiac. A review of several studies on red ginseng showed that it may work for erectile dysfunction, but further research is needed.
Oh.
That is so
Well
annoying.
then.
Now I'm even more annoyed at that word. Like,
Yeah.
it was named after, obviously, like, the Greek goddess Aphrodite, because she was the goddess of love and beauty. So anything that, like, I guess stimulates sex is like, oh, that's from Aphrodite. Oh, aphrodisiac, haha. But, like, people, I think, are throwing this around so loosely that now I'm annoyed, and anytime I hear it, I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what it seems like, and maybe some people think that like it's a subtle way of like being cute or like hinting at something.
Yeah,
else,
I think
but,
it's creepy.
Yeah, I think it's creepy, but I also think it's just like you have a problem because all that aside, it's just like sex is constantly on your mind. Like that's
Oh, good point.
all
Yeah,
it
it's
is,
like there's nothing
you
else
know?
that you worry about. Yeah.
Yeah, like and I think that's why I said like you have a problem if that's what it is. Like you literally have like I think a mental condition you need to see therapy because I'm telling you right now, if you're eating like watermelon or going on eating an oyster and it's making you think of going down on a woman, like bro, like what's wrong with you? Like
Aren't there some conditions though where like you just like stay masturbating or whatever, and it's like not an addiction, but like something like an actual disorder, right?
I think that I don't know.
I mean, I feel like there is, right? So like if you have that disorder,
sure.
are you like? I would like to hear from those people. Like, what are aphrodisiacs then to you? I mean, like everything, or like, you know what? Why did I say that? I don't want to know actually.
Yeah, because like based on what the definition says, right? Like it elicits like increase in sexual desire. So like for some people who may have a foot fetish, is feet an aphrodisiac for them? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like kind of where do you draw the line?
I'm kind of like scared to Google like
I don't blame you.
masturbation
What we just
addiction,
said
like-
earlier. I'm sure that is a thing. I'm sure that is a
yeah,
fucking
like sex
thing.
addiction, like not a nympho, but there's like a disorder, and a disorder is obviously something that's
You actually do not have to Google that because there's a movie about that with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's called Don John, and Scarlett Johansson plays the love interest in the movie. And it's basically he's a sex addict, but he's not addicted to sex with women. He's addicted to pornography. So even when he's in a relationship, she like catches him masturbating, and it makes her upset. But it's like a whole thing. So it's definitely like an addiction and an issue that a lot of people like deal with. Like
really because
I know that
I ended up
Go ahead.
Googling it, and it says there's no clinical diagnosis for masturbation addiction. It's not recognized as addictive by the American Psychological Association.
Nah, I think that's bullshit because you're chasing a dopamine high. So if anything that gives you a dopamine high, like sugar or even some kind of drug, you can get an addiction to it because it's an easy pleasure for you to achieve. You know, so there's a lot of actually negative side effects to that to people who are addicted to masturbation because it also kills their sex drive, but it also kills their drive to actually want to interact and engage with actual women.
Right.
And they can only see women as potential sexual objects, not potential partners.
Well, that was
or interests.
healthline.com, so maybe they're just wrong. But now this is addictionresource.com, and it does say that, like, when masturbation starts interfering with daily life, it may be indicative of masturbation addiction. This addiction, also known as compulsive sexual behavior disorders. So CSBD, y'all. Figured it out.
I think what you just said actually, I forget where I heard this. Maybe it's a YouTube video I've been preaching on social commentary, but that what you're saying, where like masturbation plays such a big role in your life, or like
Well, a
takes
disorder
such
is
a toll
defined
on
as
your
something
life.
that disrupts your daily life. Anything like that, that's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
disorder.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anything that disrupts your daily life. So like, let's say you have a task to do or whatever, right? You know how they have like procrastination.
Or like
They also
impulse
have
control disorder.
Yeah, so they also have procrastination.
What?
Where it's like where people will procrast doing a task by masturbating. You know, because they're like, oh, I have to do this first before I move on to that.
Okay, but that's an Urban Dictionary. That's not a real word.
Well, I heard it somewhere. I didn't say it was a real word, but it said I've heard it.
Okay, that's funny, because I get what you're saying, but, like, that's not a real word, you guys.
Well, there's a lot of things that are not real words
Yeah,
that
but
we
then
use
again,
to
like,
define
some
things.
people use the Urban Dictionary, like, more than they use the Bible, so whatever.
Damn.
I know. So, let's hop off that pause, and I wanted to change tracks really quick.